This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it, body.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out, y'all.
And speaking of very successful. Speaking of very successful. We have easily. It's not his first time here. One of the most successful correspondents that history has ever produced.
Sway Calloway, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep my hat on, just be like Sway. I ain't gonna take it off.
He's really gonna do that right now? For red carpets to 106 in Park to Extra to his own entertainment production company. To probably one of his biggest accomplishments in his entire career.
Being on your show.
His cameo in Drumline. Welcome, A.J. Calloway, ladies and gentlemen. A.J. Calloway is here.
Oh, man.
It's your cousin, too. You had a lot of family on the show.
I swear,
this week.
A.J., would you tell Heather, like,
Yo,
E40, you know E40's our cousin. You know that, right?
I'm just saying.
Did you see the interview?
Look here, look.
Did you see the interview?
Do you know his last name?
Yeah.
What's his last name?
The same as yours.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey,
Got same last name.
Yeah, but if you trace our family tree, it shows you
Y'all
where
had
it
different
connects.
fathers. Y'all had different fathers.
Yeah, it shows you.
It's all intertwined.
Y'all
Start
fathers
doing
was
that.
different. Same mother, different father.
Yeah, yes.
I'm Instagramming and throwing it out there on Facebook and Twitter, telling everybody to turn on right now. Shade
Shade 45.
Shade 45.
Tell them
Come
download
on.
it, too.
You got a. I almost said the word.
What word?
Posse. You got a posse in here.
That word is sensitive right
You got a
now.
posse in
Some
here.
educated business people
What
in
the
here,
hell's
man.
wrong with the word posse?
Man.
You got a posse. Oh, you have a group. You have
You
a
know
nice
what's wrong?
crew.
You know what's wrong with it?
Squad.
Let me tell you
What's
what's
wrong.
with it.
Were you
See,
mad
see-
at? Were you honestly mad at it?
Okay, here it is.
Okay, come
Okay.
on. Let me put my headphones
I
on.
think it's more
Listen, I came to
it
play.
might be generational.
What?
Because
Generational? Oh.
posse, when we were coming up, was a hip-hop expression.
Yeah,
My
there's a
posse
posse.
gets big, my posse gets bigger. My posse, you know, what's them boys? My posse's on Broadway, Sir
Posse's
Mix-a-Lot.
on Broadway.
What's the boys?
What, Beastie Boys you talking about?
Not the Beastie
What are you
Boys.
talking about?
But Beastie Boys had
Yeah, they had a couple of
Yeah,
joints.
they had a couple. That said, so to us, a posse was just.
My posse gets big. My posse gets
They
bigger.
had a movie. I think Mario Van Peebles
Had a
was
movie called Posse.
Posse.
Yeah.
That ain't cool with LeBron though.
Posse's not cool?
Nah, he's like, what do you
I
mean
think-
a posse? Posse got a not in these times.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. But
Yo,
people
Phil-
are extra
Phil-
sensitive. Phil
Yo,
Jackson.
no,
Phil
Phil
Jackson. Come on.
But
Phil Jack?
Phil probably didn't mean nothing
Phil,
by it.
He mean nothing about it at all.
But has he ever used it in regards to any other professional athlete that's running a successful business and is always surrounded by their handlers?
What do you said it about Michael Jordan and his associates?
Look at him and his posse.
But
Look at Trump walking around with his posse.
nah.
It's a posse.
But it ain't cool with
saying.
LeBron.
I get it.
LeBron don't want to be referred to as a posse.
All right.
Like a lot of people with locks don't want you to say dreadlocks.
No, that's true. That's true.
Okay, because it got that
That's
negative
true.
connotation
You
to
gotta
it.
educate,
That's
though.
true. That's
Posse
very
gives
true.
off a derogatory
Now,
thing.
you just went somewhere else. We're talking about locks.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we both had them, so.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have them anymore?
AJ.
I haven't seen you without your hat ever. Do you shower with
Half
your
of
hat?
y'all
I
ain't
just-
really cousins.
I've never seen.
Give me something new.
I'm just
give me
saying.
something new. Give me something. Do you shower? Do you have sex
I'm
with your hat
playing.
on?
Right.
Dog.
Give me something.
I'm just saying. You know I love you.
I don't know.
Oakland.
All right.
Bay Area.
He back on the right
Okay,
side.
now what else?
Right. I say Oakland. He just starts smiling. Like,
I forgot what he was saying. Okay, so we got the president. I think we were the last. I think we the last in our realm to get the president maybe 2 weeks ago.
Gotta say that.
Okay. Yeah, that's a round of applause. I don't know if we're gonna get him again. That's it.
That's beautiful.
That's
man.
beautiful. But you're the only to get the president elect. Yo, AJ, man, give him a round of applause.
Yeah. Hey man, the hustle's real.
No, AJ got that. I knew. Donald Trump was either gonna come here or go there.
Hey.
And he went to AJ. And this is what happened.
You said you're Sway's cousin.
First thing you would do first 100 days.
Well, I'd start immediately lowering taxes. I would repeal and replace Obamacare with something much better and much less expensive. Obamacare is a total disaster. I would make sure that drugs stop flowing into this country. They're coming in from the southern border to a large extent, just flowing in. I mean, you can buy drugs in New Hampshire cheaper than candy.
If you were not elected, what are you going to do next? And will you lend your support to the Clinton campaign?
I haven't even thought about it. I mean, I really think we're going to make it. I think we're going to have a massive turnout come November 8th, and you and I will meet probably on November 9th, and we'll discuss it.
So did y'all meet on November 9th?
I actually was the first person to interview him after he was elected.
Mr. Trump. How you doing, President Trump? How you feeling?
I feel good. I feel good.
Thank you, sir. It's been a good. How was the phone call with Secretary Clinton?
Say it again.
How was the phone call with Secretary Clinton?
It was really nice. She was very gracious and very nice, and I appreciated it.
And how are you feeling? What are your emotions of you and the family?
Oh, terrific. I feel great.
Great questions too. Right after you called, he seemed like he was a little overwhelmed. Like,
Yeah.
No, he was.
Yeah?
He was. I mean, I've interviewed him a lot over the past couple years, and he was different that night. It was a mode I've never seen him in before.
Can you explain that? How so? What was different?
I think he was. I think he was like. I think he was shocked.
Yeah.
I think he was honestly taken aback. And I think the severity of the role actually sunk in at that moment. You know, you're rolling around, you're doing a thing, and you know, I think it started as a statement and moved into a movement. I think it begun, you know, like some people compared it to like Emperor's New with no clothes. Like, you know, it started off like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, I'm gonna do this. And then you go to Iowa or you go to, you know, Nebraska, you go, and then they're like, whoa, there's thousands of people. Oh, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it just built. And then I really, you know, because everybody was saying that Hillary was gonna win.
Right.
And then the night just shifted.
Yeah.
Because I started at Hillary's camp. I was at Hillary's camp from 1:30 until about 11:45 at night.
Wow.
And then I got a call. My LA office was like, yo, you need to go across town.
Yo, she's not gonna win. She's not gonna win.
Abort mission.
Well, no, we're sitting there, and honestly, we're sitting in the Jacob Javits Center with the glass ceiling and everything, and everybody's expecting to see the glass ceiling broke, and, you know, you're supposed to see the fireworks and all that, and all I'm seeing are hearts breaking. And it was kids crying, like children crying, parents, you know, everybody that put their life into it. And then my job was like, you got to bounce. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So then I got in my truck and drove across town, went through like 7 police barricades, got to the front of the Hilton.
You drove yourself? AJ Calloway is
all
driving
the time,
himself?
man. Sway, stop it.
Humble
You
man.
see me in my truck. I drive a pickup, and I'm all over the city. And you know, and I left Jacob Javits, drove over to the Hilton, and stayed there until I got that interview probably about 3:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So what does that do for, just out on the sidebar, because no one else who works there could have got him to talk. Let's be quite honest.
Please tell everybody extra to dial in now.
No,
Please, I
seriously.
get some-
Extra. I'm not even, because we got last names. Nobody else could have got him to talk from Extra like that, like you did. I hope that's reflective in your contract.
I hope so too. I'm gonna bring you into my negotiation meeting. Sway
I'm
Calloway,
really
my
good
new
at this.
attorney.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you are. You papered up.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far, man.
Papered up.
Damn, just do this
Your
like under
cousin
my
talking?
hat. Now he's in my pocket.
I was about to say,
What the hell,
you know how many hats this man has to buy?
Oh, man.
You got family talking.
That's why we talk like this, family. He really going easy on me today. I don't know why he's being respectful. It might be because of the
Because you
three.
got a posse with you.
Well played. Well
Posse.
played.
Hey, I have a question. Since you
ahead, brother.
had the chance to interview him, in the first clip that we played, he talked about taxes. He talked about Obamacare. He talked about the border security. You said you know him, or you had the chance to interview him a few times previously. And watching that 60 Minutes interview, a lot of people watched that with intrigue because we saw a different tone. We saw a different temperament. What do you think his policy and his position will be? Do you think we'll see the Trump of repeal Obamacare, of build the wall, of the borders, of South America, or do you think we will see a more resolute, more practical, pragmatic individual?
Well, I can't speak for what he'll do. All I can speak for is what I've known him to do. When he started running, I saw a different man than the man that I knew before. If you think and look at his record, outside of the Central Park Five and all the other stuff, he has multiple things. But people that are close to him, people that know him, or if he has a chance to, like, if he came in this room, you would be surprised what he could do in interacting with you one-on-one. He's been respectful. He's been, I'm just talking about personally. He's been respectful. He's been nice. He's always been a gentleman when it comes to me.
Y'all didn't talk about grabbing pussies or nothing like that?
No,
that didn't happen?
Missed out,
no
AJ.
locker room.
No,
you know what happened with old boy.
The locker room talk.
Yeah, well,
No, the man. I mean, that I was blown. Like when I saw that, I was really like, wow. I really was blown. Because he loves beautiful women. He's talked to me about women and, the women in the industry and how beautiful this one is, how beautiful that one is. But it never got vulgar to that level. I mean, this is nothing new. I covered the Miss Universe pageant. I was in Russia. My daughter had just been born, and I wanted to get back home soon. And I was talking to a security guard about it, and Mr. Trump heard it. And he was like, dude, you can ride back with me. I'm leaving, right after the pageant. And I flew back from Russia with him.
Okay.
It was just me and him on the plane, and that's a long flight.
Yeah. Y'all talked the whole time?
Yeah, and then I went to sleep because he doesn't drink. There was no drink on the plane.
Oh, no. He didn't smoke no weed or
There was nothing.
you needed your posse.
I needed I needed the flight home because I had to get out of Russia. I was like a unicorn walking around in Russia.
Right.
But I mean, his vice, he was watching westerns. I mean, they're just talking about the entertainment industry. But no, it never got to that level. But to answer your question, it's when the words came, like, it was hurting my heart. Like when he would say the thing, I was like, wow. And then I had a chance to talk to him about it once or twice, and I was like, do you understand what you're saying and the ramifications of what you're saying to certain people? And I just think that he's on such a certain level that the reality, he doesn't have real people, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He needs Sway's posse.
He need a posse.
Right.
He need a right posse.
But I'm hoping that the right people will step up, and because we have what we have now, so we have to deal with it. So we need people to get in his ear and to give him reality and to keep him grounded and to make sure certain because he has no. When it comes to governing, there is no, like, what.
Who's real? Like, who's really
exactly?
in it?
Like, if in the radio industry, your industry, and entertainment, I know my industry. When it comes to governing, you have to know certain things. You need to know this congressman's going to do this or this senator's going to do that. Like, you don't know that. So who do you surround yourself with that knows that? Mm-hmm. And I'm more scared about the people that he's bringing into the cabinet than himself.
Who scares you most?
That a lot of them.
Right, go down the list.
Okay, Steve Bannon, Giuliani.
Yeah,
Pence.
a lot of them. I mean,
Ranks.
because you look at their views and you look at the things that they've been talking about. I mean, that stuff some of it's really, really scary. You talk about, nationwide stop and frisk. You talk about all those kind of things that would impact this country dramatically. And hopefully there's just some good people that are brought in there, man, because it is where we are right now. Mm-hmm. And I think that this is a kick in the butt for a lot of us. So it's time for us to organize, to activate, to not just, don't be the I'm a Instagram protester. Nah. Like, if you're going to do something, do something. Mm-hmm. If you're going to make change, be change. Don't talk about it, be about it. And that's what I think needs to happen within America right now.
Well put. You know what I'm curious about? A lot of people have a heavy distrust for the media and feel as if the media shapes too many opinions, glorifies the wrong things, takes us in the direction of voting for one person, not wanting to vote for the other. How do you feel what do you think is the role of the media currently? And is those types of opinions justified?
As far as media putting people in the wrong direction?
Right. Well, people just feel like the media is a major form of social conditioning.
Well, when you talk about the media, it depends on what you're talking about, because there's different forms of media right now. People get the media from the internet. I mean, if you're talking about news or commercial news, if you're talking about cable, if you're talking about network, you got to be real specific of what you're talking about, because the media, when you just say media, it's broad.
Right.
Because, there's some stations out there or some networks or some internet, channels that are putting out the truth, but not that many people are really reading it or seeing it. So it's all about what you're what you're looking at.
Because I guess I'm always hearing every single candidate, anyone who is within the spotlight, when something goes wrong, blames it on the media. Everyone says the media.
It's the game.
Yeah, that's the game.
That's the game. Trump blamed the media all the way, but the media put him in office. The media, they from day one. Think about it. I mean, I have the pass. I just pulled it out of my bag out of nowhere from when he announced. And it was like, from that day forward, he was in the media every single day, everywhere. And you heard the whole saying, no press, all press is good press?
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when you're running for the biggest office in the land. If everybody hears your name, it's all about repetition. It's about branding.
It wasn't good press for
He
Hillary.
was branding. It was just, oh, Lord.
It wasn't good press
That's
for Hillary.
horrible.
I'm just saying. What?
Well, yeah, no, but it was just, but I'm just saying he's good. He's a businessman and he's good at branding. And he branded himself into the White House. He had a message from day one. He didn't break from that message. That message was, I'm going to make America great again. If I had a job and I lost my job and I can't feed my family and I got some man saying, I'm going to make America great again, I'm going to bring back jobs, that person's going to vote for them, regardless of whatever. They don't care. You know, he talks bad about women. He does this. He has this many cases against him. They don't care because this man has convinced him in his branding that he's going to do things for them. Now, what he does once he gets in there, that's a whole different other story.
Well, with that being said, I'm curious, AJ, in terms of the morning.
AJ Calloway is here from Extra, 7 p.m. Monday through Fridays on NBC.
Yeah, plug that show. Get that extra.
I'm saying, man.
Calloway's in the building. Calloway's.
Everyone woke up the next day with the morning after, right? And with regrets or with excitement or with celebration. Now we're kind of going into a week after kind of our
People
deep
were walking
dive.
around New York shook.
Yes, but now we're going to our deep dive of the autopsy, right? What could each demographic have done different? What about the white women? What about the white men, Hispanics, blacks, millennials, right? To expand upon what Tracy talked about in terms of media. Yes, he was media. Yes, he was brand. Yes, he was awareness. Yes, he was, Make America Great single line, tagline, which was really exciting. But do you think the media did not critique him as a presidential candidate?
They took him as a
more
joke.
so as a presidential
They took him as a joke, and that was the problem. That was the problem from day one.
The question is, is there a morning after for the media? So what is the media analysis now going forward, and what litmus will you guys hold him to as he now is in office with the transition?
For me,
I'm still seeing
I'm
that.
an entertainment news journalist.
No.
Entertainment news.
I disagree with
You
you.
was the
You
first to
disagree with
interview
me.
him.
Entertainment news.
But you interviewed him though.
First.
Yeah, because he was the biggest reality star in America.
But you don't ask me any questions
He's
about
an
policy.
entertainer.
You guys
was
talk
at
about
Hillary.
policy though.
I did.
So you can't say you're entertainment
I'm
journalist.
an entertainment journalist.
Policy.
You see, I just slid.
I like that. I use that a lot.
Slip sliding away.
You Callaways,
He
baby.
Millie rocked out of
Slip
that. Like a true Calloway,
Well, no,
man.
no. The responsibility of the media, and I had this discussion earlier today. The media never took him seriously, and that was his biggest benefit because everyone looked at him as a joke. Like if you think I'm a joke, you think I'm a joke, but I turn around, I whoop your ass. I ain't a joke no more because your ass just got whooped. Problem on the media is they kept playing with him. Oh, it's a joke. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. Oh, he announced. Oh, that's funny. And then it started getting real. Like, he won this. He won. Oh, wait, he won the wow. He won the nomination. Oh, well.
He's not
okay,
gonna win.
he's not going to win the presidency. There's no way. America's not going to let that happen. That's funny.
10 points down.
Hillary, and then everybody's talking about other stuff. And and they talked him down. He got it. He got it. They played him as a joke, and they got played. End of the day.
How much do we give to Hillary and the way they ran her campaign? Could have been totally different. Where however the media took him, she could have had a better faring than what happened. Like how much?
Yeah, I think she was. There's a lot of stuff when it comes to that because she was so embedded within the machine.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff she controlled, but a lot of stuff was out of control. I think you got to look deeper than just Hillary. You look into the Democratic Party within itself because maybe it should have been Bernie and not Hillary. How was it not Bernie over Hillary? And I love Hillary very much, but it's deeper than that. All of this is deeper than everything. Like you really need to really do some research on America. And then you'll start to understand because history just repeats itself.
Yep.
And that's kind of where I was going with that, is that we all have accountability, right? Like each demographic, each voting block, whether you're white male, white rural, white suburban, white educated, white non-educated, black millennials, women, females, entertainers, we all have a role and responsibility in where do we go in our next 4 years. And so if we don't ask ourselves these tough questions of what in my demographic, whether I'm media, whether I'm entertainer journalist, what could I have done differently, right? Because what was clear was the media's responsibility going forward. How do you ask questions for the next cycle of presidential candidates? How then you even go forward and ask questions about the surrogates of the candidates? Because now we're seeing with Mayor Giuliani, all was coming out with him and his past incidents in terms of contracts with foreign governments and relations, in terms of do we need to start doing deep dive? Do we let these people come onto the air? And so that's really where it goes to, is what's the responsibility of media here in this room going forward?
I think the responsibility of media is just tell the facts.
Yeah.
Research them, learn them, and tell the facts. I didn't. What happened with the Comey? All that shit was happening with the FBI and the email leaks and all that stuff. That was unprecedented.
It was, and it got covered as it should.
Yeah.
And we on the show talked about the she should not have had a private server and how that went to trust, right? So we did bring that up in the show, but I think that's responsibility is to call out those sides.
Hey, AJ, what did you come here to talk about, man?
Oh no, man! Y'all talking about the damn presidency? Y'all getting all serious? I was ready to spit bars.
You ready?
No. I was working. I was ready, Sway.
You was ready?
What?
The show ain't over. Want to drop a beat on it?
No, don't drop no beat.
Hey! Go
AJ and Sway. What?
We know you're doing extra, but one of the things you do too is you still talk to the youth about the use of drugs.
Do I talk to them about the use of drugs? I mean,
not the non-use of drugs.
What are you talking about?
Are you still promoting
Yo,
pills?
my side hustle. Hold on.
Like, what else you got going on, AJ? Tell us how much. What else you got going on?
Well, wow, I got a lot of stuff. Some I can talk about, some I can't talk about, some I can't wait to talk about.
Okay.
One of the biggest thing, Howard Homecoming just happened, and a couple of alumni and myself got together because we were upset in the direction of America and all the stuff that's going on and the senseless killing of African Americans that has been going on. And we started an organization called the Coalition for Blind Justice, and we did a open town hall at Howard University, at Howard Theater during our homecoming, and we're going to continue that and do the tour to 4 different other cities. And what I'm doing is I'm doing the town hall, and it's not the regular town hall because I hate town halls. You get up there and you talk about what is wrong in the community, what's wrong. I was like, look, we know what's wrong. I want to get the best minds together, and we're going to come up with answers, and we're going to film all this, and then we're going to put that out in a documentary, and just put the answers out there because we know the problems. What are the solutions to the problems? So I had like the chief medical examiner from Washington D.C. there. I had the mayor of Newark, New Jersey there, Ras Baraka. I had some police officers there. I had a lot of people there. So we're going to do another one at my church up in Harlem, First Corinthian Baptist Church, Reverend Michael Walwyn. We're going to do one in December up there, looking to do one in Atlanta with Kasim Reed, and a couple other cities that we're looking at.
Okay, you going to Oakland at all?
We do want to go to West Coast. I'm still waiting. See, don't even. I'm sensitive about that because we were out there Super Bowl. You never took me around your hood. We were right there in Oakland, and I was like, "Yo, you can take me around. You rolling around." I was like, "Yo, can you take me to the town? Could we cross the bridge? Like, could we just, let's just go, have a beer together somewhere? You know what I'm saying? But it's okay."
Huh?
I mean,
40 would have took him around Vallejo.
It's all right.
Well,
it's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's okay. It's all good. No,
yo, me and T. Cal too.
What happened, Sway?
Yo, him and my brother. Man, I told him.
What happened to you, Sway? Why you?
Yeah. Get on him. I was like, yo, can he take me out?
AJ be going.
I'll wear a hat. I'll put a hat on.
AJ be going out.
Can I roll? Can I go now? I came in with a hat.
I don't know what happened that night.
He out. Sway
See?
out.
I'm just an entertainment journalist.
I was like, I was like, yo, can you take me around Oakland? I'm in your town. Like, if you come into Jersey, I'm gonna take you around. I will take you around Jersey. Where you want to go? Take you on Central Ave. Take you on Main Street. Where you want to go? Springfield. Like, I will take you around. I was there. He can't even look at me. He can't even look at me.
What day is the fest?
He's not looking at me, huh?
the Sway.
Sway has a
not
Sway
looking
day.
at me. I
I'm about
first
to
of all,
I'm gonna give you the date.
So
I'm gonna give you the date.
because that's the only time I get an invitation. Because he doesn't invite me to nowhere. See, I'm gonna kill him right now.
April.
April. Oh, April is the day. That's bad for me.
This guy.
That's bad. April.
all of that.
My wife is due in April. I can't do nothing in April. See,
Cousin about to have the next baby.
I got it. My third child on the way.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, AJ.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
Congratulations. Man,
I had so much I wanted to drop on you today.
What else?
I'm just gonna let you go wherever you want to go. I'm ready. But I got some stuff on my sleeve ready. But I'm not even gonna look. She's like, "What?"
So cryptic with it.
You know, they waiting.
We only got so much time.
What do you want to talk about? What? We're done? We're over?
That's it. We got 3 minutes.
Hey, yo,
3 minutes?
AJ hype.
Oh, I was about to drop some.
Well, ask him about Tracy. We were talking off
What
air
we talking
about the Beats commercial with MA looking at the young lady's
Oh,
ass.
you gotta bring Wonder into this.
Yeah, Wonder.
He kindled the conversation.
Wonder.
Longer than 3 minutes.
But we talk about objectification of women, right? Women being objectified.
Wow.
Through commercial means. Nah, man, it was just a regular conversation. And we were talking about, we had the artist, the last Artful Dodger here, and she openly said, I'm queer. And we start bringing up people's success in the music business, and when does that not be the focus point? It's more about the art. And then somehow Wonder and Tracy start talking about hypocrisy because if you know, jump in the Beats headphone commercial, got Young M.A. looking at another woman's ass and going, ooh. And then Wonder saying, if that's okay, then why, you know,
Objectifying.
you know, like when you have these Super Bowl commercials and you see Carl's Jr.'s and some girl biting into a burger and shit dripping on her breast, and we're like, ooh. So why is it okay for Young
For
M.A.?
one, but not. But is it okay?
I don't think it's okay at all. Not that I haven't participated in it, but but I'm not an advocate of that mostly. But I'm guilty of it.
But there's other nuance.
That's commercial. That it seems like that's what sells.
And she smiled.
You know what I mean?
The girl smiled, so it was an even exchange. And there's other nuances to it because then it was an element that was added is that it's normal if men are objectifying women. And we shouldn't look at it as normal if a woman is doing the same. So one was actually given acceptance.
Wonder, is this accurate?
Let me know if I'm accurate, yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's hypocrisy on that aspect of it. That's it, man. It's a lot of things we could discuss about this, but we got to keep it moving.
AJ, what are your thoughts on that?
What?
All right, look, let me go something easy.
You got to throw it.
Okay, let me give you something easy. Okay, let me give you something easy.
What am I thinking about? The objectifying of women? What do I think? I think it's horrible.
Okay, great.
I think it's horrible.
Do you think we're pushing like homosexuality in America too much?
Oh. Well, look, who cares? No, it's honest.
Okay, hold up. All right, hold up. I got it.
No.
I got it. You know what? We'll come back to it. It ain't enough time for that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, here's the question.
I don't believe it.
Here's the question.
What's the question? Oh Lord. Were we wrapping up? We were wrapping up.
No, recently.
Sway about to bring it home. Come on,
bringing it
Sway.
home. Bring it home. We're not going to
But
talk about...
don't visit him at home because he won't take you around.
That's not true. We're not going to talk about LeBron has the right to be upset about his collective being called a posse.
Right.
Okay.
We're not talking about Steve Bannon and who's being appointed to the president's cabinet,
Right.
president-elect cabinet.
Dun,
or
dun, dun.
we're not going to talk about objectifying women. Or is it true?
What? Is what true? This is scary now.
Careful with your
That in the recent weeks,
What?
in this nation's White House, our president, and though he's done many things as a first, was the first president to ever dab to a hip-hop track at the White House, at the BET White House party. Is that true, AJ?
I don't know. I wasn't invited.
Oh. And how long the dab been around?
Okay, we want to thank the last offer Dodger for coming by. We want to thank DJ Kevy Cam for coming by. AJ Calloway, you
Told y'all let's go.
can find him on Inside Edition.
No,
Extra.
You can find him
Get
on
on my
Maury Show.
Instagram, get on my Twitter at AJ Calloway.
Yeah, get at him on AJ Calloway. All right.
I love Sway, man.
Yo, Tracy
Can I
can be
come back
reached
here?
anytime, man. Tracy
Yeah.
can be
Come
reached
back.
anywhere.
Twitter, Instagram at is Tracy GITSJACYG and she's beautyatthebeast.com.
Have the beat.
Hit me up at the Happy Hour WHB on Instagram and Twitter.
And check out her Words with Friends. It's popping.
It's popping.
All morning. All morning. It's always popping.
Well, because they wore me out and I ain't like the conversation.
They pour you out.
Every day. All right. Mike Muse, how can you be reached?
I am Mike Muse. I am Mike Muse. MUSNSAME. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook.
OQ.
Yeah,
I'm on Instagram. I am OQ. Hit me up.
All right, Wonder.
Did you put my Instagram out there?
Yeah, AJ Calloway.
I'm messing with you.
Oh, yeah. We about to do it again. Go ahead, Wonder.
At DJ Wonder, everything.
AJ, what's your what's your social media, man?
At the real Calloway. No, at AJ. At AJ Calloway, man.
Sway OQ over 2,000 right now, thanks to the Sway in the Morning crew,
You got
right?
over
Oh, you killing them?
Yeah, shout out to the citizens, man. I'm over 2,000. Just made it.
Look at that
Holla.
deep voice.
You hear that? You switch it up. Hey, did you ever trace back our last name?
Oh, Calloway?
Yeah.
I did a little research on it. I'll send you to it, actually. It's pretty interesting.
Well, how
But
far do get?
I just got to say thank you, man, for having me on here, honestly. Bottom of my heart, thank you. I don't do a lot of media. I don't do a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
I was told I was doing, they asked me, they sent me the request, and I came because it was you, because I don't.
You don't do nothing, but
I like to interview people. I do not like to be interviewed.
But that was
That's
so much fun.
real.
How fun was it? But I had to talk to you, the only person who walks in our streets that got a chance to speak with the president-elect, and that's a big deal, man.
Absolutely.
Man, that's the president, bro. No matter how you slice it, you and I have done a lot of great things. I love watching. I love learning. I like watching how you navigate through things, and very, very smart man. Very caring man, very loyal guy, AJ Calloway. He'll be named to Donald Trump's cabinet, I'm sure.
Yo, Lord. I'm going to bring you along. I say, could you get my brother Sway? Bring him too.
Yeah, bring me too, man. And until tomorrow, we have nothing left to say.
It's Sway in the morning. Only
On Shade 45.
AJ Calloway is here.
Oh, man.
This your cousin, too. You had a lot of family on the
I
show
swear,
this week.
AJ, would you tell Heather, like,
Yo,
E40, you know E40's our cousin. You know that, right?
I'm just saying.
Did you see
I'm
the
just
interview?
saying. Look here. Look.
Did
wait
you
a
see the
minute.
interview?
Do you know his last name?
Yeah.
What's his last name?
The same as yours.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey,
Got that same last name.
Yeah, but if you trace our family tree, it shows you
Y'all
where
had
it
different
connects.
fathers. Y'all had different fathers.
Yeah, it shows you.
It's all intertwined.
Y'all
Start
fathers
doing
was
that.
different.
Yeah.
Same mother, different father.
Yeah, yes.
I'm Instagramming and throwing it out there on Facebook and Twitter, telling everybody to turn on right now. Shade
45.
Shade 45.
Tell them
Come
download
on.
it too.
You got a. I almost said the word.
What word?
Posse. You got a posse in here.
That word is sensitive right
You
now.
got a posse in
Some
here.
educated business people
What
in
the
here,
hell's
man.
wrong with the word posse?
Man,
You got a posse. Oh, you have a group. You have
you
a
know
nice
what's wrong?
crew.
You know what's wrong with it?
Squad.
Let me tell you
What's
what's
wrong.
with it.
Were you
See,
mad
see-
at? Were you honestly mad at it?
Okay, here it is.
Okay, come
Okay.
on. Let me put my headphones
I
on.
think it's more. AJ, man, give him a round of applause.
Yeah. Hey, man, the hustle's real.
No, AJ got that. I knew. Donald Trump was either gonna come here or go there.
Hey.
And he went to AJ. And this is what happened.
You said you're Sway's cousin.
First thing you would do first 100 days.
Well, I'd start immediately lowering taxes. I would repeal and replace Obamacare with something much better and much less expensive. Obamacare is a total disaster. I would make sure that drugs stop flowing into this country. They're coming in from the southern border to a large extent, just flowing in. I mean, you can buy drugs in New Hampshire cheaper than candy.
If you were not elected, what are you going to do next? And will you lend your support to the Clinton campaign?
I haven't even thought about it. I mean, I really think we're going to make it. I think we're going to have a massive turnout come November 8th, and you and I will meet probably on November 9th, and we'll discuss it.
So did y'all meet on November 9th?
I actually was the first person to interview him.
But
I came to
it
play.
might be generational.
What?
Because
Generational?
posse, when we were coming up, was a hip hop expression.
Yeah,
My
there's a
posse
posse.
gets big, my posse gets bigger. My posse, what's them boys? My posse's on Broadway, Sir
Posse's
Mix-a-Lot.
on Broadway.
What's the boys?
What, Beastie Boys you talking about?
Not the Beastie
What are you
Boys.
talking about?
But Beastie Boys had
Yeah, they had a couple of
Yeah,
joints.
they had a couple that said, so to us a posse was just
My posse gets big. My posse gets
they
bigger.
had a movie. I think Mario Van
Had a-
Peebles
had a
was
movie called Posse.
Posse.
Yeah.
That ain't cool with LeBron though.
Posse's not cool?
Nah, he's like, what do you
I
mean
think-
a posse? Posse got a not in these times.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. But
Yo,
people
Phil-
are extra
Phil-
sensitive. Phil
Yo,
Jackson.
no,
Phil Jackson. Come on.
But
Phil Jack?
Phil probably didn't mean nothing
Phil,
by it.
He mean nothing about it at all.
But has he ever used it in regards to any other professional athlete that's running a successful business and is always surrounded by their handlers?
What do you said about Michael Jordan and his associates?
Look at him and his posse.
But
Look at Trump walking around with his posse.
nah.
It's a posse.
Yeah, but it ain't cool with
saying.
LeBron.
This is Sway.
Sway.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shade 45.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crosstalk, y'all.
And speaking of very successful, speaking of very successful, we have easily. It's not his first time here. One of the most successful correspondents that history has ever produced.
Sway Calloway, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep my hat on. Just be like Sway. I ain't gonna take it off.
He's really gonna do that right now for red carpets to 106 in Park to Extra to his own entertainment production company to probably one of his biggest accomplishments in his entire career.
Being on your show.
His cameo in Drumline. Welcome, AJ Calloway, ladies and gentlemen.
I get it.
LeBron don't want to be referred to as a posse.
All right.
Like a lot of people with locks don't want you to say dreadlocks.
No, that's true. That's true.
Okay, because it got that
That's
negative
true.
connotation
You
to
gotta
it.
educate
That's
though.
true. That's
Posse
very
gives
true.
off a derogatory
Now,
thing.
you just went somewhere else. We're talking about locks.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we both had them, so.
Oh yeah.
You don't have them anymore? I haven't seen you without your hat ever. Do you shower with
How's
your
it?
hat?
Y'all
I
ain't
just-
really cousins.
I've never seen.
Give me something new.
I'm just
give me
saying.
something new. Give me something. Do you shower? Do you have sex
I'm
with your hat
playing.
on?
Right.
Dog.
Give me something.
I'm just saying. You know I love you.
I don't know.
Oakland.
All right.
Bay Area.
Back on the right
okay,
side.
now what else?
Right.
you
I
have
say
to-
Oakland, he just starts smiling. Like,
I forgot what he said. Okay, so
that's my man.
we got the president. I think we were the last. I think we the last in our realm to get the president maybe 2 weeks ago.
Better say that.
Okay. Yeah, that's a round of applause. I don't know if we're gonna get him again and shit.
That's beautiful.
That's
man.
beautiful. But you're the only to get the president elect. Yo.